So if you don't mind, I've read what you've given me. Would each of you individually just tell me briefly who you are, what you're interested in, and so I get to know you. I mean, this don't be shy. I mean, that's not, there's no plus or minus or good or bad. This is a question of who you are, and that makes it much more easier to have a conversation. All right, Wilson?
Okay, hello, my name is Wilson. I'm interested in engineering.
Interested in what?
Engineering.
Right, you said that.
Oops.
Why? I mean,
Because I just like...
you're now, what, you're in 8th grade or 9th grade?
8th grade.
Okay,
I'm just passionate about building stuff.
building stuff.
Yeah, like, it's just my hobbies.
I see.
I like to do.
All right, we'll come back to what you were talking about here. I'm sorry, I can't read it. Oh, you're going to do a paper dispenser,
Yeah.
right? We'll come back and talk about that. Is that you? Okay. But you like to build things and you're an engineer. And I can't, you've hidden your name. There you
Christian.
go. Okay, tell me about you, Christian.
My name is Christian, and I'm interested in programming and coding.
So you're a computer guy, right?
Yeah.
Are you working together, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, you two are working together. Okay, we'll come back and talk about that. Angelina?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hi, my name is Angelina, and
You're a violinist.
Yes, I'm a violinist.
This is interesting because I told the Emma and Angelina that my wife is a violinist. She plays in an orchestra. So, when we got married, I said, "Well, I'll take up the cello." She says, "No, no, no." So I never got even to step one. But go on.
Right. Well, I'm interested in music, and I like to play with an orchestra more than being a soloist.
This is it's a hand dryer, right?
Yeah.
Are you two working together? Is that it? Okay.
Yeah.
And then we want to talk about that because what you're
Okay.
saying is there are hand dryers in most of the
Yes.
laboratories today, so you must have something different idea.
We have a different design of a hand dryer that could prevent the spread of bacteria.
All right, Emma, you're also a violinist.
Yes, that would be
Now, I'm only emphasizing that because I hear so much music every day. It's mind-boggling, but it's good and it's great.
Well, yes, I'm Emma, and I am a violinist.
I have a granddaughter named Emma. Well,
It is one of the things I'm passionate about, but I'm also passionate about, like Wilson, I'm a little passionate about engineering because it's kind of just fun to build something that maybe other people haven't thought of yet, and it's just kind of interesting. And I'm also interested in drawing because it's a creative outlet that I can kind of just do and nobody can judge me on it because it's just something I like to do.
that's good. Thank you. All right, Audrey.
Hello,
And thank you very much for that.
Oh,
And you have something here I can read. Go ahead. I'm listening.
my name is Audrey. I am interested in interaction with people, leadership, politics. I've been interested in that for a while, and I've gotten the opportunity in the science fair to
You like fish.
fish. Yes, we're trying to make a substitute for unagi in the Japanese culture, and I'm excited about interacting with new people. And
You're going to grow
bring-
fish in a fish pond? Is that it or what?
I've been working
Catfish,
with a
right?
catfish farmer. And
You have a partner in this?
yes.
Oh, I know. The teacher is the partner.
Yes. He has a
He doesn't.
catfish
He doesn't
business.
like unagi. He wants catfish. I mean,
Oh, well, unagi, we're trying to make catfish taste similar to unagi to make it a possible substitute.
you're going to save the unagi population.
Hopefully, yes.
That's what you said. That's the objective here.
Yeah.
Would you eat catfish over unagi? I'm sorry. I don't mean to pick on you. But
I think I've been talking to Japanese chefs, and they said, oh, Japanese people, when they first think of catfish, they're like, oh, it's ugly, I don't want to eat it. But then they said, but if the quality is good, and if it tastes more like it, then people might open up to catfish. So that's what I'm trying to.
have you eaten catfish?
Not breeding, but we're trying to feed it a feed, commercial feed at the moment instead of a marine diet. But we're trying to feed it a feed to fatten the catfish to be more like the unagi.
Well, I think this idea, you mentioned in what you wrote about feeding them and get them fatter and all that. That's a good research project, and that would be contributing to our intellectual property. The only thing I will do when I go to a Japanese restaurant, the first thing I look on the menu, do they have unagi? So I was not sympathetic to it. Go on, you have a good idea. All right, you're Ryosuke?
Ryu for sure.
Is that pronounced right?
Not really. It's Ryunosuke.
Ryunosuke.
Yeah. So I'm Ryu, and I am in 8th grade. I'm also interested in math and engineering and CADing.
It's a paper recycling machine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
So what I wanted to do was I noticed last year at the end of the school year I had a lot of paper left from like schoolwork, and I just like threw it away. And then like it was like filled with like papers. And then for my science fair project, I wanted to make a machine that recycles paper. But the thing is, in order to recycle paper, we need to ship it to some other countries because we're like in the middle of the ocean, and that like creates like carbon emissions, and then like contributes to global warming and ocean acidification. And the thing is, since we cut down the trees to make paper, like we're creating gas so that the trees can make it into oxygen, but we cut down the trees that are making the oxygen.
Well, you really
so, like,
thought about this.
Yeah, so like it's like a cycle, but you take out one part of it, so it becomes like uneven, and then like one part gets like more, I guess, like effect.
You're really into this. That's good. You really want to start a business, or you just want to do this because you like to do engineering design?
I might make a business, but I might not. Yeah, but I do want to become an architect or an engineer when I grow up, so if I do become an engineer or like an architect, maybe I might make this into like something.
And there's
real.
a story we're talking about. There's Singapore has a paper shortage, and somebody put together a company to recycle paper here and sell it the paper rather than, and it became a multi-million-dollar business.
My name is Amanda, and I'm interested in. I like computer programming, but I also like helping people, but I didn't write that on my paper. So for what I wrote, I put like JPOs in middle school because we had that in elementary school and there wasn't as many problems, and in middle school there's like a lot of issues.
So you're going to go into the police business, is that it, or not police? You said you were school security guards, right? What you're working with, and you're trying to teach them to do things differently to help behavioral issues, right? Why you want to do that?
Well, because the security guards aren't really paying attention to other things on campus, because sometimes there's something really big on one side, but then on the other side there's other smaller things happening that could also lead to a very large thing. So I think if we had more people like that, then it could help stop those things.
Well, you thought that through very well. Thank you. You're going to tell us, this is the teacher, this is Jason. I'm sorry, you're not Alexander, I don't think. That's the name they got in front of you.
I'm Jason Nakamini.
You talked earlier, he's very interested in fish. Go on, tell us.
So a little bit about myself. I'm a teacher at Washington Middle School. These are my students.
These are all your students?
Yeah.
You're lucky to have such nice students, I'll tell you.
Yeah, so I think I have the best of both worlds. I'm an educator. I get a chance to, to share my knowledge with, share my passion for research, which that was my first initiative in life, was to be a researcher, and I did that. But now to give back to the students, so give them a chance through my experience to gain exposure to science, and that's one hat that I wear. The other hat I have is, well, I'm sort of a business person myself. I do have my own aquaculture farm. I do fish production, and so I get a chance to do my own research on my own terms, And whenever someone says, "Can you breed this fish?" I just look at it, and through my years of experience, I say, "Yeah, I think I can." But I'll use different techniques to breed it. You know, whether I use hormone injections or I set up the conditions where I increase the water temperature. But I can do my own research at my own farm to produce another type of animal.
I know a little bit about Jason because everyone else has been talking about him, and he's now in your class. But when I started at Harrisburg University as an entrepreneur in residence 8 years ago, I put together a graduate program in entrepreneurship, and I said, we're getting these people too late. We got to get them at your age. So I went around to the high schools first and said, I'd like to work with your students. I was totally rejected. The answer was, it's too hard. And I said, no, you don't know how bored your students are. Which I'm sure is partly right. You're not bored because you're obviously very excited. You have a good teacher. And then the question was, they said, well, it sounds like a business course. I said, no. I teach people how to add value, not make money. That's more important. Anyway, they rejected me. So we started an apprenticeship program. It's the old German model. And we went to a high school, Steelton High School, where the steel mill in the town had just stopped. And they said, we already have land. We put in a 3,000 square foot aquaponics production facility. High school kids were asked who would like to manage it. We got seniors. For 3 years, each new class of seniors runs that thing. They now have turned it into a company, which we raised $1 million. They have a contract with the World Bank to replicate this in Nigeria. These kids are getting scholarships to college. They're getting research grants to work with people in Penn State research. And they feel confident about themselves because they've had some experience in trying to implement something. And they learn by doing, and that's what we're getting back to. But it's an example of anyone can do what they want to do if they try. Everyone benefited from that ability that we had something to learn how to manage. That started as a workforce development idea. We found that a high school senior who had never been on a farm can run a 3,000 square foot production. That's an aquaponics production facility, which is lettuce and vegetables, herbs and things like that. In 2 months, can successfully run that and manage it. 2 months, that's all. Now, if that's not a good payoff, it's hard to believe. It's very good. Anyway, I'm sorry. You don't have a name card, so I don't.
Hi, my name's Kimberly Tangaro. I'm a science teacher at Kailua Intermediate School.
You're a teacher?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you came. I know that I heard you were coming, so it's good.